BC. I'm back for another video. Thanks for having me back again. And I'm going to start off by saying rest in peace to Mr. Glenn Campbell. It was a very sad day last week when we lost him, but also a happy day because we know how hard that the Alzheimer's disease was on Glenn, and he's in a better place now, and just what a talented musician, what a unique musician who was respected in all genres of music, and true favorite of mine. So let's get on with this. I'm gonna have a couple videos here. I have about 150 records to show. I might not do them all today, but I'm gonna try and get. Sorry, I just gotta pull the box over. Just give me a second here. Okay. Alright. But yeah, I have a lot of records, so a lot of LPs to show and some 45s and stuff. But first off, let's start off with a couple, one 10-inch and two 78's. So I found this 10-inch just yesterday. This is a Hank Locklin 10-inch from 1956 on Capitol. This was $1, so that was pretty incredible to find in such nice condition. And then I just want to be careful here as I'm dealing in 78's. And then for 50 cents when I was on vacation, I found from 1929 on the Victor label, Jimmy Rogers, single from him. Oh, that was such a crazy thing to find, being in still pretty nice condition from 1929. And then a good addition to the Frank Sinatra collection. This is one of the 78's from his 1946, The Voice of Frank Sinatra. There was originally four 78's in one book. This was just one of them for 50 cents in great condition. So, yeah, those were some 10-inch finds. Alright, so now let's go through a few singles. This is just not even half of all the singles that I've picked up. But first off, we have a Jamaican pressing of Byron Lee doing Hang On Sloopy. So that was a great find. And these were all about between, oops, I almost dropped them, between $1.50 and $2. Just a copy of Herman's Hermits' Wonderful World. Can't go wrong with that single. I'm going to drop these things. It's great to be back again and making more videos. I could never find this single right here, Roy Orbison, Pretty Woman, surprisingly. So, on Black Monument. And this was kind of interesting. Herb Alpert, but this is a German EP from 1966. So I thought that was pretty. I picked that up for $1. Sorry, some of these are turned around. And this is a Frank Sinatra mono UK EP from 57. Some great songs on there. Sounds really nice. This is a Don Gibson picture sleeve. It's got a little bit of wear, but it was 50 cents on RCA. And next, if I'm not mistaken, this is Waylon Jennings and the Kimberleys from 1971. Two great songs on that one. Next up, I didn't have this one here from Mitch Ryder. I didn't have any Mitch Ryder. That one's got Good Golly Miss Molly on there. I don't usually show 45, so I'm not really used to doing this, but I might have. Oh, this was a great find. I've been having some great garage sale finds, and I'll show the other LP haul in the next video. But I bought a box of 45s for $15, and this was in there. It's got a small label tear on this side, but this is the very first run of the Doors Light My Fire backed with the Crystal Ship on Elektra. So that was an incredible find when I dug into that box and found that one. And then we have a find from yesterday. Went to a record store, and the Edwin Hawkins Singers Oh Happy Day. This is a German pressing with the picture sleeve, so for 50 cents, that was a really nice find. And then these next, we'll get into about 3 Elvis finds. A couple days, it will be the 40th anniversary of his death, so I'll be celebrating and remembering. This was an original 1958 sleeve of I Beg of You backed with Don't, and the single's in great condition. Sleeve's got some wear, but for that price I wasn't leaving that one. And then this next one was one that I didn't have. I'll Never Let You Go. Oh my goodness, I'm dropping these things. This is I'll Never Let You Go backed with I'm Gonna Sit Right Down on the gray label from 1956. That was, and the condition on these, I was surprised because you don't find them in that clean of condition. And then another one on the gray label, One Night backed with I Got Stung. Of course, that's a great track. Great tracks. Both of those ones. And then here, I found a nice Tom Jones picture sleeve on Parrot. Pretty good condition. As well as, I already had the sleeve to this, but I found the EP to the actual single for this great Bill Haley EP from 55. Sorry for the glare. Nice, really nice Bobby Darin sleeve. A couple more 45s here, and then we'll get on to a few LPs. This is double-sided white label promo to the Chi Lights, Oh Girl, from 1971, if I'm not mistaken, and just a great track. One side's mono and one side's stereo on Brunswick. Great label as well. Here's one on Redbird. This is the Dixie Cup. The Dixie Cups with Chapel of Love. I haven't been able to find that one for a while, so... And then the last single, this is a Canadian pressing of Mamas and the Papas, Monday, Monday, in the original sleeve. Alright, so we're going to get into a couple LPs. These are from everywhere. Thrift stores, garage sales, where else have I gone? Yeah, mostly thrift stores and garage sales. These were all between, and one record store when I was on my vacation, so these were all between, most of them were under $10. They're all in really nice condition, so I'm going to start off with the local from Calgary, Alberta, here where I am. This is the Stardells. They're mostly a cover group. They do songs like Proud Mary, and I'm not sure when this was released. It's kind of a country kind of feel, and I can't find much on it, but that was really nice in the shrink wrap. So I'm going to try and not make this video too long. I'm hoping for it not to be too long. Leroy Van Dyke with Walk On By. This is in the original bag from 1959. And here's Joe Dowell with Wooden Heart. Of course, you know that Elvis song. Sorry, I put the sleeve in the back, but it's just on Mercury, so nothing you really need to see on the back there. And here's an album by the what are their names? Sunglows or something. Yeah, Sunglows. Of course, you know Peanuts, but They were a Latin pop group who did not the soundtrack, but who did this album. So that was kind of interesting. I kind of took a chance on that, and my first album here from Status Quo. Shout out! I have to do a shout out to Ryan Rocks 84 Ben. So this is Status Quo, rocking all around the world, and it's got the original sleeves still, so in good condition, other than a little bit of seam wear, but wasn't complaining. Record's in really nice condition. Now this was a nice record store find. Dolly Parton, Good Old Days. Take that out so you don't get the glare. That's from '69 on the great RCA Victor label, of course. So an earlier one by her, really nice. And then we have Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn doing Diamond Duet. As well as my first one from Joan Baez. This one's called it's kind of a spoken word gospel album, but I haven't really listened to that one yet, so I'm not too sure what to expect from that. Didn't have any from Warren Zevon either, so lots that I didn't have, which was really nice. Really nice finding stuff that I don't necessarily have. Great artist right there, Bobby Bland. And then Ronnie Prophet, another kind of, just does some country songs. He was Canadian, as far as I know. And then we have, sorry guys, just give me a sec. The best of, this was a really good one. The best of Rex, Rex Allen Jr., I think is his name. Great country, if you haven't heard Rex Allen. This was an interesting one on Fontana, I think from '68. The Sisters, it's got one tear here, but it was so cheap. Sisters of Abion, it's kind of late '60s, kind of interesting psychedelic. I wouldn't say psychedelic, but interesting stuff. The Chamber Brothers on REO, good listen. Kind of some soul influence stuff. Tom Jones, Darlin', didn't have this one. Great album. I've listened to most of these, but there's a few that I haven't. And there's lots of country in here, but this is Krista Berg's 1989 album in the shrink wrap. So a lot of different stuff that I don't usually pick up. A couple from the Sons of the Pioneers. I just really enjoy this music. Once in a while. So a couple from them. Greatest hits. Just skip over if you're not into this kind of country stuff. I won't mind. This was the earliest one that I found by them from '56. Some great Western songs. One more by them, I think. Just a great group overall. This one here, sorry guys. This was also a great listen. I'm sure you've seen that before. I really enjoy this close-up series from Capitol. This was a Goodwill find recently. This one's a Sonny James. I have a Beach Boys and a Sinatra one too. Roy Clark, great picker right here. Let's hope these don't fall over. Don't Let Me Cross Over by Carl Butler on Columbia. It's his biggest hit, I'd say. A couple of great Emmylou Harris finds. This is a 1979 reissue of her debut album from 1970 that I would really like to get. It originally was on, what label was that? This is a later EMI pressing. But it was on not a weird label, but one that you wouldn't expect her to be on. I forget what it was. This one, just going to pull the label out here. This was, this is on Reprise. This is one of my favorites that I've heard from Emmylou Harris. Piece of the Sky. So that was I listened to that whole album and I really enjoyed it. Found these at a thrift store, so I was pretty happy to find her albums that cheap. Alabama. This is a great album by them if you haven't heard that one. This one's from '84. We're going to run out of space here. Don't want to make this video too long for you guys. Upgrade of Take That Job and Shove It by Johnny Paycheck. So that was a good one. And then another good condition album here to show you. A little bit of dirt, but interesting listen right there. Sorry guys that I'm rushing through here. I just don't want to take up too much of your time because there's going to be a couple more videos coming up. Alright, an original Canadian mono pressing of Gunfighter Ballads for 50 cents. I'm not going to pass that album up. That's for sure. This was a really good, really good listen here. 80s electronic kind of stuff. Ellen, great kind of pop. That's from 86, I think. 83, sorry. It's hard to remember all these numbers, or all these years, sorry. This was a great country album here to show you guys here. Sorry, I say here a lot. I didn't know if this was country or not when I first got it, but just kind of some late 80s country. I'm sure this guy had a hit. I don't know. But just on MCA, so it's kind of late 80s. Here's kind of big band find, whatever you want to call it, Errol Gardner. We're running out of room here to put these records. This was a really cool find here. This was an instrumental group from Montreal, Canada, doing songs by Bill Black and Dwayne Eddy. So I really like that cover. I don't know why. It's pretty basic, but it's on a Canadian label. So okay, about 20 more to go, guys. Hope you can stick with me. If you can't, that's all right. You can always shut off the video. I won't mind. This is Boss. This was an interesting one. This was less than 50 cents. This was about 25 cents. And it's kind of some just kind of drum kind of music. Boss in the conches. So that was an interesting find. It's got some wear, but it's not bad. Alright. Chet Atkins in the shrink wrap. I'll always take that for 50 cents. It's on the orange RCA, so a bit of a later one from him. Alright, this was a great record store find. This one's from 1955 on the Capitol Records label. In fantastic condition for its age. I can never find any early albums by Dean Martin. And this is the earliest one you can get. This is his debut album. Sorry for the glare again. In immaculate condition. On the turquoise Capitol label. And his great song, That's Amore, is on this one. And he does a lot of great vocal music on there. And it's just a great listen. I have always been trying to find all of Dean's albums, but it seems to be a bit hard sometimes. Okay, now we get into some Jim Reeves. If you don't like Jim Reeves, once again, you can fast forward. But I got about 7 or 8 albums by him in one box set, so that was really exciting. Here's a compilation. It's got a lot of his pop songs on there, so, or if you want to call them vocal. And we have a Reader's Digest box set from 1976, the Jim Reeves collection. And that's a 6-record set spanning his whole career, so there's some live performances in there and some other great stuff. This was a great one to find. Distant Drum, in mono. Just a great listen. Alrighty. Great, amazing album. Tall Tales. This is the Elvis Vinyl Guys, George's favorite Jim Reeves album, so shout out to you, brother. Finally found that one. The Best of Jim Reeves, Volume 2. And this is his 1967 gospel album. Of course, he passed away before this was released, but the tracks were recorded in his lifetime, obviously. Greatest Hits, Volume 1. Those are all on the black Nipper label. And this is the first pressing of He'll Have to Go, of course, his biggest song in mono. Canadian pressing, of course. I find a lot of Canadian pressings being in Canada, but they do sound good. Alright, so now on to Conway Twitty on Pickwick. This is some of his early material, and the first 2 tracks on it he wrote himself, so and the rest are kind of cover songs. Alright, an Elvis find here. This is a 1983 compilation of some gospel songs. And then here's a great parrot compilation. It's got Them, the Zombies, and of course Engelbert doing Release Me, so that was even a bonus getting that on a compilation. Of course, love that song. 12-inch single to Taffy, I Love My Radio. Can't go wrong. At those prices, you really can't go wrong with some of those. Here's a Capitol compilation. It's got some Merle on it and other artists like that. So, yeah. And then we have... Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. Some kind of folk kind of music. Bud and Travis. I've never heard of this one. I've never heard of these guys, so... Another one by them, and these are on the early Liberty label. This one's got a little bit of wear. I don't mind about the cover wear, so when it's cheap, it's not a big deal. Great find for me. I love this duo here, and this is Ian and Sylvia doing Early Morning Rain on Vanguard. There's a few more to go here, guys. I never heard this Flying Burrito Brothers album. This is their first Canadian pressing. It's got some wear on it, but great music on A&M. Hope everyone's doing well. This is Gordon Lightfoot's debut album, USA stereo pressing. Alright guys, we're almost done. Records just fell over there, but that's alright. They're good. It's all good. And then... yeah, this was an interesting find, this next one. Some great fiddle music here from Canada. This is a bit harder to find, according to Discogs, and I can't find much on this guy, but he does some great fiddle covers and, you know, good music. Cover on this has some wear. It was $1, but the Ventures, I've been finding a lot of their stuff, which I'll be showing in a later video. Here we got Hank Locklin's biggest hit, which is Please Help Me I'm Falling. And the latest release from Sony Legacy from Elvis. I'm not extremely impressed with it, but sound quality is really good, and I really like the label, but you know, I didn't want to... They did also release a 3 CD box set where you actually got the bonus tracks, but I can't complain. I mean, it was cheap enough. A Boy from Tupelo, and it came with a download card, which I was really surprised about, and not a Sony Legacy classic paper sleeve in it, so that was also a bonus. And if you want to hear some, you know, the Sun songs on one compilation and a couple early songs from '56, I recommend that. But I already had a couple of the songs, so had this album a long time ago. I don't know what happened to it, but Great instrumental album here from 1959 on the Warwick label. We have Johnny and the Hurricanes doing Red River Rock. And that's in really nice condition. I've found it a few times, but it was always kind of rough. But then another Dean Martin I didn't have, Sitting on Top of the World from 72. And we're going to end this video off with a Canadian classic here from Stompin' Tom. This album has been impossible for me to find, even being in Canada. And I finally found a VG Plus copy of Stompin' Tom, the hockey song. So let's hold that up there for you guys to see. You know, the rest of the album is really solid. I have about five other albums by him, and I think his others. I think people really overlook him because I think they only really concentrate on the hockey song. But he's a great folk and country singer, so great storytelling songs too. So check out his other stuff. But that was a real great find for me. Alright, VC, I think that was probably about a 20-minute video, so I'll come back again with another video, maybe in the next couple days, but I'm not too sure. Maybe today if I get the chance. You might see me back sooner than you think, but hope everyone's doing well, been enjoying your videos. Haven't been able to really comment as much, but still enjoying everyone's videos, and hope everyone's doing well. Take care, and have a great week.